What if I told you there was a monster so terrifying that a single glance could turn a hero to stone? A creature with snakes for hair, eyes that petrify, and a curse that haunted all of Greece. This is the story of Medusa and the young hero Perseus, who dared to confront her using brains instead of brute force. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just how Perseus defeated Medusa, but the clever strategies, divine gifts, and risky choices that made his victory possible. And stick around because one twist in the story is far darker than you think, revealing how a single reflection saved him from certain death. But here's what most people miss about Medusa's true power. She wasn't always the terrifying monster of legend. Once a beautiful maiden, she was cursed by Athena for reasons lost in history. Her gaze became a weapon, her hair a writhing mass of deadly snakes. Anyone who dared look at her directly was frozen in stone forever. This wasn't just a threat to heroes, it was a threat to entire kingdoms. But there was hope. A hero born under divine guidance would rise. And this is where the story takes a dangerous turn. Perseus, the son of Zeus, was tasked with an impossible mission: to bring back the head of Medusa. Why, King Polydex, who lusted for Perseus' mother, demanded the impossible as a cruel ploy. Perseus knew brute force would not suffice. This was a battle of wits against a creature whose very existence defied mortal strength. But the real secret lay not in the sword, but in what he carried. What happens next changes everything. Perseus received gifts from the gods themselves. Athena gave him a polished shoe, reflecting Medusa without looking directly. Hermes lent him winged sandals for swift movement. Hades provided the helm of invisibility, allowing him to approach and detect it. Each gift was a critical advantage, turning fear into strategy and risk into opportunity. And one tiny mirror would decide life or death. This is where the story takes a dark turn. Perseus navigated treacherous lands, faced monsters, and dealt with the Gorgon sisters, immortal beings just as terrifying as Medusa herself. Relied on cleverness, not courage alone. Every step required precision. One wrong move, one glance, and the journey would end in stone. And finally, he reached her lair. And this detail makes it even more shocking. Perseus didn't confront Medusa head-on. He held up Athena's reflective shield, watching her movements from a distance. In a single calculated strike, he severed her head without ever looking into her eyes. Medusa's death was gruesome, but necessary, and from her blood sprang creatures of myth, including Pegasus, the winged horse. But the story doesn't end there. Here's what most people forget about Perseus' true victory. He returned victorious, using Medusa's head as a weapon to save his mother and defeat King Polydex. Perseus' journey wasn't just about strength. It was about strategy, divine guidance, and courage under pressure. His story became a legend, not because he fought the monster, but because he outsmarted. If this tale of clever heroism is already changing how you see Greek mythology, stay with me, because next, we'll uncover the shocking consequences of wielding Medusa's head. The genius of Perseus' plan lies in reflection and preparation. He turned Medusa's greatest weapon against her using the simplest tool, a mirror. This is a timeless lesson. Sometimes brains defeat brawn, and cunning trumps raw power. Perseus' journey teaches us that heroism isn't just fighting monsters. It is using strategy, divine insight, and calculated risk to triumph against impossible odds. Medusa's tale reminds us that power can be deadly, but cleverness and preparation can overcome even the most petrifying challenges. If you loved this dive into Greek mythology, hit subscribe, smash the like button, and comment which hero you want us to explore next.